So the UK 2023 theme park season is just around the corner, and if you want to find out what the #1 new attraction opening this year is, then watch this video until the end, because #1 will shock you. This definitely does not sound like a clickbait YouTube video. So at number 5 we have the new Retro Squad ride coming to ALTON Towers, and they recently released a teaser stating 6 names the ride could have, and those names are Atom Blast, Twistertron, Glow Trick, Light Strip, Acceler Strike, and Spider Glider. And obviously they will probably soon announce what the name of the attraction of these options this will be called, but I personally think it might be called Twistertron, because the attraction is actually being built here. It's going to go on the former site of Enterprise, which was removed during the close season. It's going to be a Starfighter fairground ride, and it's the ride you can see on the video here. Now, so the reason I think it's going to be called Twistertron is because I think it's probably the most fitting name for this type of ride. But as you can see by the video, this ride looks quite intense, and it actually looks very reminiscent to Enterprise, which obviously is a vaguely similar ride, which is like a wheel that tilts near vertical with the gondolas on 360 facing 360 degrees. So obviously it's quite intense, but I don't think any Retro Squad ride will come to the intensity of something like Spin Jam, which is literally just next door to this, because they've confirmed that the Retro Squad lineup for this year, they've got 2 returning rides: Funk and Fly, which is in Forbidden Valley, Spin Jam, which was introduced last season in X Sector, but that's on the former site of Submission, and this brand new one which is going on the former site of Enterprise. So there'll be 2 Retro Squad rides located in the park this season, and that's very interesting to see how they're adding 2 Retro Squad rides into the park in the same lands this year. That obviously means that Roller Disco isn't returning, and there will be no Retro Squad rides in Dark Forest this season. But I cannot wait to see what this brand new Retro Squad attraction, the Starfighter ride, looks like. So yeah, the new Retro Squad ride at ALTON Towers is number 5, and now on to number 4. So at number 4 we have Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and we've been waiting for this ride to reopen for so long now, but I'm including this on this list because by the time it reopens it could feel like a very different ride. But basically, this Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach has actually technically existed since the year 2000. Obviously it became one of the critically acclaimed one of the UK's best dark rides and best water rides. Some have even said it's one of the best water rides in the world. And obviously in 2019, at the end of that season, the park announced that Valhalla will be closing for the entirety of the 2022 season for a massive reimagining of the entire ride, and they're basically going to update all the effects with modern special effects and possibly giving it a new, slightly different storyline. Obviously it's still going to be called Valhalla and still be themed to Vikings and whatnot, but it's going to feel like a completely different ride because of all the new and modern special effects and the actual ride experience itself. Now obviously the years tick by and the ride is still closed. Obviously it was supposed to reopen in 2021 in time for Blackpool Pleasure Beach's 125th anniversary, but that still didn't happen. The park then announced it was going to reopen in 2022 in the summer, which I actually mentioned this ride in last year's top 5 new rides opening in the UK for 2022, but it still didn't reopen. And obviously Amanda Thompson actually tweeted that it was all to do with COVID and Brexit, the reason that the ride hasn't been able to reopen. But she said she's still trying to get the ride back up and running again. So take this with a pinch of salt. We don't know if the ride is definitely going to reopen this season. However, if it does, I'll be very glad if it does actually reopen this season. And I cannot wait to see what the new and improved Valhalla looks like. And I seriously hope it's worth the, I think 3 years waiting. So yeah, the reimagined Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach is number 4, and now on to number 3. So at number 3 we have Ghost Train at Thorpe Park, and this obviously is once again a reimagining of a previous attraction. However, this one is taking it a bit to a different level. Basically, it is a complete overhaul and reimagining of the previous Darren Brown's Ghost Train, which was a virtual reality attraction located at Thorpe Park in Surrey. And obviously it was supposed to be full of all kinds of optical illusion and twists the mind on what it perceives as possible. And obviously the main sort of feature of it was the virtual reality headsets when you sat inside the train, and you get scared by all kinds of different monsters. But obviously, over the years, since it opened back in 2016, the ride has received quite negative reviews from visitors and enthusiasts alike. And so recently, Thorpe Park decided that we're going to completely reimagine the actual attraction itself. They're going to remove Darren Brown's name from the attraction, and obviously they're going to rename it to just simply Ghost Train. However, they're going to give it a completely new storyline, new theming, and the main like takeaway from this is they're removing the VR from the attraction. So all the effects, it's going to be completely practical, and apparently it's going to be an actor-led immersive experience. And the park has stated it's going to open in spring 2023. I don't know if it's going to open on opening day on the 24th of March. I mean, it could possibly, but I think if it was going to open on the day, Thorpe Park would have made an announcement by now. But if it doesn't open on the opening day, it could open like later on in spring, possibly in like April or something. But obviously, overall, Ghost Train looks like a fantastic addition to the park, and it looks like a great improvement to the previous Darren Brown's Ghost Train attraction. So yes, Ghost Train at Thorpe Park is number 3, and now on to number 2. So at number 2 we have The Curse at Alton Manor, coming to Alton Towers on the 18th of March 2023. And obviously this is a reimagining of the attraction known as Duel of the Haunted House Strikes Back, and the main changes that they're going to make to this attraction: removing the laser guns from the attraction and therefore the laser targets, meaning it's going to be all like a traditional haunted house again, like it was when it originally opened in 1992, just simply known as the Haunted House. And not only that, they're going to give it a completely brand new storyline, and it's quite a very detailed storyline that they've given it, the attraction. Left alone in the attic, with nothing but a doll's house to keep this quiet but curious girl amused, Emily becomes lonely and forgotten, with nothing but the sound of music and laughter of the parties hosted by her parents to the high of society, echoing through the floors from the grand hall below. Her hatred grew, fueled by frustration and bitterness. Dark forces began to surround Emily, becoming a vessel for the evil that has seeped into every corner of the manor. And obviously going to give it all completely new and modern special effects, such as like texture mapping and things like that, and also apparently they're going to do all these special effects to do with like traditional ghost trains, like smoke and mirrors and things like that. So that'll be very interesting to see how they manage to pull that off, alongside the modern special effects as well. But this attraction looks absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to experience it, hopefully on the 18th of March when the park reopens. So yeah, The Curse at Alton Manor is number 2, and before we get into number 1, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you'd like to see in the next video, as I do other videos like this every other day. And now, finally, on to number 1. So we have finally reached number 1, and the number 1 attraction opening in the UK in 2023 is World of Jumanji at Chessington World of Adventures. And this is, unlike every other edition on this list, this is not just one single attraction. This is an entirely new themed land, coming to Chessington World of Adventures in Leatherhead, England. And if you don't know what this new land's going to consist of, it's going to consist of 3 brand new attractions. It's going to have, and they've all been named recently, all themed to the Jumanji film franchise. Obviously they're going to be Ostrich Stampede, which is an SBS Jump and Smile attraction, Mamba Strike, which is an SBF Visa Miami dance ride, and the main highlights icon attraction of the whole land is Mandrill Mayhem, which is a B&M launched shuttle wing coaster. Yeah, that is a mouthful. Basically it's a wing coaster, but it features 4 launches, and it's not a complete circuit. The first launch is backwards into a beyond vertical spike, and the second launch is obviously the same launch. It's 2 multi-pass launches, but altogether throughout the entire ride experience makes 4 launches, and it's going to feature Chessington's first ever inversion on a roller coaster. That is, obviously Ramesses Revenge went upside down quite a few times. This is their first inversion on a roller coaster itself. And overall, this entire new land looks absolutely fantastic, and obviously Mandrill Mayhem is B&M's first ever shuttle coaster, and I would love to see where B&M go with their shuttle coasters after this, if this ride is successful. But yeah, this whole new land is going to open on the 15th of May 2023. It's currently under construction as we speak. Mandrill Mayhem is currently testing. At the time of recording, I don't know if the other 2 attractions, Ostrich Stampede and Mamba Strike. I don't know if they've started testing yet, but they should do soon. But obviously they've still got plenty of time to build this whole new land on the 15th of May 2023, which is going to be its grand opening, and I can't wait to see what this new area is like. So I want to thank you all very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it then please make sure to like and subscribe, and come out with likes in the next video. Bye!